What we are living inside the United States of America right now this is Germany 1933 on Hitler's rise to power. People wonder, how did Germany get taken over by this horrific movement? Well, it's happening here.
It's about time to check in on Donald Trump supporters. Maybe some have reconsidered their support after his favorite candidate for governor in North Carolina was revealed to have proudly called himself a black Nazi.
You know, a lot of people on the other side, Edward, are saying that the MAGA movement is reminiscent of that as well. So how do people meet in the middle on this?
Well, because I don't think the MAGA movement of that. You're not going to see any hate or any violence here. You're going to see love here. Look, we fell in love at MAGA. Donald Trump is love.
This would be one of the first rallies without hate or violence in a while at a Trump rally, right?
Look at me, dear. Let's show him. This is what Donald Trump. You're not going to see any hate or any violence here. You're going to see love here.
You're not going to see any hate or any violence here.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison.
Why do you use words like vermin and poisoning of the blood? That's the kind of language that Hitler and Mussolini used.
Well, that's what they say. I didn't know that, but that's what they say. Because our country is being poisoned. We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing them back to Venezuela. Getting them out will be a bloody story.
Yeah, no hate at all at Trump rallies. Just like there's obvious similarities between demonized immigrants and rich Americans, according to this guy.
You ever see the movie Chinatown? You know, there's that final scene where Nicholson finds out he raped his own daughter and he's like killed all these people. John Huston, the big oil magnate. And Nicholson asks him, he goes, "You're rich, aren't you?" He goes, "Oh my." Huston goes, "Oh my, yes, I'm very rich, very rich." He goes, "Why are you doing this? What more can you buy that you can't? What do you afford? How much more could you eat? How many more houses could you own?" He goes, "It's the future, the future." And that's what these immigrants are, the future of the Democrat Party.
So up is down, left is right, and people are finding new ways through random movie references to say that they're being replaced. It's a constant theme. Immigrants are destroying the country. It's actually very 1933.
If Trump were to lose, are you afraid that they're going to put him in jail?
I bet they will, or they'll certainly try. Yeah, I think they will, because the Democrats would like to turn this into a third world country. They're already doing that by letting all the immigrants across the border who are undocumented, unvaxxed, unaccounted for. Yeah, I think they'll definitely throw the man in jail. They've jailed a lot of his friends just to smear him, unfairly jailed, a lot of them. People like, Manafort and Stone.
I think they were unfairly. I mean, they got their day in court. I mean, is that not fair?
It's like the kangaroo courts of Stalin or Hitler.
Do you regret not locking her up? And if you're president again, will you lock people up?
The answer is you have no choice because they're doing it to us.
Those that want people to believe that you want retribution, that you will use the system of justice to go after your political enemies.
So when this election is over, based on what they've done, I would have every right to go after them. I am your voice. Today I add, I am your warrior. I am your justice. And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
He holds these rallies for hours, so you'd think his biggest supporters would notice the things that he says and does that don't always match up with their principles.
The other side is saying that a vote for Donald Trump endangers our democracy. How do you respond to that?
Communists have been lying for as long as they've ever existed. That's the idea of accuse your opponent of what you're actually doing.
So here's him on True Social. And right there, he says a massive fraud, talking about his belief that the election was stolen. Of this type of magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
Donald Trump said it's okay to suspend the Constitution.
And the idea that Trump is a threat to democracy, we already got 4 years of Trump. I had $1.96 gas. I could afford my home. I saw 4 years of Trump, and it was excellent in every way. So this idea that he's going to destroy democracy and put people away, it's clearly completely untrue.
All they have to do is pay attention to him when it's inconvenient. It's obvious that every one of his baseless talking points is taken in and regurgitated, so they are listening.
Do you put a lot of the blame for what you don't like about the last 4 years on the vice president?
You're all a part of the swamp. It's all a part of the deep state. I think she has been completely ineffective and a grifter and someone who has just worked her way up the ladder just by shaking the right hands. That's not a leader. That's not a politician. Foreign governments look at her and laugh, and that terrifies me.
We're laughed at all over the world. He's laughed at all over the world, and he's our representative. They didn't laugh at us, I'll tell you that. They did not laugh at us. But you know, when I was building the wall, I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers. And they laughed at me. I hate when people laugh at me. I hate it. I hate it. No, it's so disrespectful. They laughed at me.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
They don't know that he was only respected around the world by autocrats that actually acted like they respected him so that he'd do anything for them. Seems like every one of the stated positives about the former president have been disproven by the former president. They don't remember him bowing to Putin in Helsinki or dismissing the murder of Jamal Khashoggi because Saudis buy our military equipment. There's no expectation of accountability, just their image of strength that doesn't exist when he's actually confronted.
A lot of foreign governments, found him to be embarrassing, according to, I'm quoting people here. How would you respond to those?
I mean, to say the foreign governments you may talk about are different from the foreign governments I care about, I don't frankly...
I think you're right. I'm not talking about our allies, the French, the British, the Germans, that...
I don't care about what the Europeans have to think of us. You're welcome for the freedom we have afforded you for the last 50 years and all of the things and all of your enemies that would happily take over in China and in Russia, who would the BRICS nations would love to run the world, and America is the only thing standing in your way. So you're welcome, Europe.
If we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.